the steps for conducting a perfect legal research. One of the things that prompted me there was checking the authorities. I think last 2 months, a lawyer in, I think England or so, was fined because of the authority he got from AI. Why do I raise this? It's not enough that you're doing the legal research and then you're dishing out authorities. Have you bothered to cross-check the authority you're dishing out? Have you bothered to confirm them? In your research analysis, before you confirm a particular authority, what if there are other decisions that have overtaken that particular one? By the time you come out from law school, there are some law firms that will take you simply because you're a good researcher, not because of anything, not because of your grade. That's where the issue of writing comes in. I can't count how many lawyers that have received calls on their behalf simply because of their write-ups. I can't count how many. There's this particular lady. If I mention her name, you will know her. She writes on family law. Her particular interest is succession, probate, just succession and probate, with respect to and then she added child care. I remember that there was a time somebody that called me from Lagos. I've received a call, at least for her alone, I've received 3 calls. 2 from Lagos, 1 from Canada. What was the whole call all about? That they wanted her to give them an update or a conclusion with a particular article she wrote. That is research. There's nobody that knows the law and know everything. The ability to research, get the information, and the appropriate information is not just enough for you to research. Now we are even lucky now. There are law pavilion is there at a click. You don't. It's not those days that you must get a Ganifa Wemi's law report and Femi Falana and the rest of them. I can pick up my phone now and get any authority I want without using any book. That is the era we are now. And that is why I said that the Nigerian law school are showing the body language, which if they did not do something about it, they will be left behind. Because this is the era whereby people update themselves. Now you do courses online, which at some point was not possible. But now you can from anywhere register for a course online, complete it, and get your certificate. And you'll be answering an authority on it. But this was not what it used to be. Flashback to 2020, what COVID did to us. At the end of the day, honestly, if you check, there's an advantage to what COVID did. Because COVID made us know that we can actually do these things. But just that we don't want to. And not just that we don't want to. We don't have the tools. Because I remember Borno State Chief Judge. As far as I'm concerned, they are the #1 now with respect to electronics, courtroom and what have you there. Because they've embraced it and embraced it with their whole heart. You can be in Abuja and have a matter in Borno. You will do it online. Let me be honest with you, because nobody knows who will be the right person to say it to the person that will appreciate what we are talking about. I've had so many cause to quarrel with our judicial system and what is going on there. On more than 3 occasions, I've had to leave Abuja to Lagos for a matter. And I got there. The matter is not going on. Now you ask yourself, the many questions we lawyers normally ask is, they didn't text me, which is the commonest one. But you ask yourself the vital question. This thing I am going there to do, I could have done it at the comfort of my office. Let's not go to the fact that you get there and you hear the court is not sitting. You go back. The court doesn't pay you the expenses you have incurred. But these are issues that needs to be touched. Now, some courts, some jurisdictions have said, well, when matters are not sitting, they will inform the lawyers. Well, how many courts? My colleagues are here. You will bear me witness that it's not done. You will stress yourself, and when you come out, you will understand the stress it means. For you to prepare for a brief and travel and only to come back without doing anything. So when you hear some people say they are tired of litigation, me, I understand where they are coming from. They are not just saying they are tired because of what is going on. They are saying they are tired of because of the system. So these are the issues, the challenges you will face as a lawyer. But the point I'm making is that as you come out, attach yourself to a law firm. It's very important. I know I'm emphasizing on that point after my brother has said it. Attach yourself to a law firm. Even if you want to go to entertainment tomorrow, what we must have gathered from going to court to say that, my Lord, for some years, will guide you, will take you a long way. Now I go to the legal research proper. What is legal research? Can anybody help us? Can anybody help us? It's a careful study of a subject, especially to discover new facts about it. It's just like a normal research. The only word there is that is a little bit ambiguous is the legal put attached to it. It's a normal research you do. But what happens during the research is what matters. It's just like you wanting to find out, make a research about entertainment. Let me use that word. Or you wanting to make a research about science. The question now will be, where do I go? Because the first thing is identifying the problem. In every research, the first point is, what is the problem I'm expected to resolve in this particular issue? And the moment you identify the problem, you have gone half. Now, after identifying the problem, the key issue there, the next question is, where will I get solution for this issue? And I put down the steps that you must take in solving a research problem. You can, just like I said, that the only difference in it is the word legal there. And by legal, it simply means give me an evidence of what you are saying. You are saying that A is this. Attach a legal authority. You can get authorities by statute or secondary authorities by research, seminar work, commentaries. Now, the next step is, I mentioned this earlier, is checking the authority. If you do not want to fall a victim of citing an authority, I've had this drama unfold in court before, where a lawyer cited an authority just to support the motion he was moving at the time. Funny enough, if you are not up and doing, he will fly home with it, even if it is a wrong authority, because you will have that every time. If you read up a lot of written address, you'll find out that I've witnessed it not once, not twice. You find out that your colleague has set out to mislead the court by the address and by the authorities he was citing. And if you take those authorities hook, line, and sinker, I tell you, you will end up hurting yourself more than you expected. But if you take your time to pick up a case, let's say now that you're in court with a file, and the motion that the counsel on the other side will move happen to be a controversial motion. If you say, no problem, I've seen it, let him proceed. You have two things facing you. If you get back to your office, your principal will tell you to drop that file there and go home. But this is where research comes in. If, assuming during the time the documents were served on your pen, you took time to check some of the authorities cited by the lawyers on the other side, which I have done in some cases, and I was shocked at the findings. You will find out that, for example, if you're defending a client, and the client that is clear from all angles that the client has no case, but you must defend it, you might end up putting an authority that the premise started what is discussed in the paper, but you did not put the concluding part of what the court decision said at the end of the day. I've had that challenge so many times. Now, if you read only the second paragraph and say it's in order, at the end of the day you have yourself to blame. This is where carefulness, diligence comes in. And that is why I drew your attention to checking the authority. In research, you are not checking this authority because you want to prove a particular point. You're checking this authority because you want to impress your client. I'll give you an instance of what happened in 2015. We are in court, though this one has to do with the challenges of legal our Nigerian system. At the time where we cited a particular authority, the other side cited an authority, and we wanted to counter them. I'm still talking on this research, this checking your authority. We wanted to counter them. But unfortunately for us, the authority we are using to counter them is not with us. This incident led us to an unnecessary appeal. We just merely said, my Lord, we'll bring it at the next adjourned date. But the court said no. At the end of the day, the court agreed with the other side, even when we are shouting that the decision has been turned. By the time we got the authority, in paper, in document, you know, Ganifa law reports. But imagine what would have happened if that authority we are looking for, if we had the privilege of, I think it's 2013 or thereabouts, if we had the privilege of just opening our phone, browsing through, and just showing the court the authority, imagine how much we would have saved that day. So at the end of the day, we had to go on appeal, simply because we were not prepared enough. Not just prepared enough. Let me not put that blame on us, because the law report at that time was not available. And that happens to be the only means by which you convince the court that, see, what I'm saying is the truth. Because at the initial age, at the point, we never knew such issues will come up. That leads me to prepare. How prepared are you? That final will soon be over. You come out, you face the real thing. How prepared are you to face it? You don't read only when you have a case. That's very key. You read because you're a lawyer. whether is a blessing or not, but you read because you're a lawyer, not because you have a case. Because you'll be called up on a day you will not expect, maybe by an issue raised by the council on the other side, and you'll be expected to join an issue there to reply on point of law. If you're not prepared, that day will be another thing for you. And you find out that it might not be the experience of what is going on in that particular case will help you that day. It might be experience you gathered in the past. So a lawyer, I think I mentioned it in one of the points I raised when I was discussing how to improve your legal analysis. Get something every day. Just pick up something every day. Our mind is something that you need to sharpen it. And you cannot sharpen it by not reading. That's why the life of a lawyer is reading, reading, reading. You can only sharpen it with intense, even if just devote, even if it is 30 minutes after the law school, just devote, because we are here today. It's not because of Bar Part 2. It's about what you're going to face. Bar Part 2 is over. And I believe we will come out victorious. But after that, what do you do with your time? The period you will wait to go for NYSC, to get a job. Don't just fold your arms and keep saying until then. If you happen to fall in the lineup of what happened to me, imagine if I didn't know what to do at that time. Because it's not as if to say that that the incident happened to me during the end of my service year. Second appearance in court. So you must be up and doing as a lawyer. A lawyer thinks on his feet. My brother then mentioned something about being bold. Arguments you make must be something that will be. I'm being warned. Let me run through. Now I still have techniques of legal writing. There's another area. I'll just run through it. If you want to be a good writer, first technique you must have is avoid use of repetition. I heard when my brother there mentioned about my Lord, my Lord, my Lord. 1, 2 is enough. It equally applies in writing. Avoid unnecessary use of repetition. Now, the second point is obsolete languages or archaic words. They are not fun with what is going on now. Minimize the use of, in fact, avoid it. It will not make your work for a writer. You know, it's, if you want people to, reading is boring. Even speaking, for you as a listener, is boring. But it's a matter of, what am I listening to? What am I writing about? For a writer, your paragraphs, if you're writing down, and if I get a write-up that looks like this, and I get a write-up that is modeled up, which one do you think my eyes will take immediately to read? It's a clear one. But these small mistakes are what we overlook. Just like when you say you want to read the handwriting of a medical doctor. I can't tell you that I have read anything a medical doctor wrote and I could be able to complete the sentence. Their major reason was that if you see it, tomorrow you go and get yourself and get the prescription and then stop coming. But that is the clearest explanation I will use to analyze this issue of writing and avoiding unnecessary hiccups in it. Now, another point is balancing criticism. If you want to be a good legal writer, you must balance your criticism. For us in the media, when we are reporting, it depends on what you're reporting at the point. But if you're reporting a particular story, when you get the side of this divide, balancing the criticism, the normal nation demands that you hear the other side to balance whatever that is going on. Are we following? Now, another point is avoiding long sentence. How do you do this? Instead of using, you want to describe this red chair. Instead of saying this chair is red, you start from the back to analyze it till you get to the front. That's unnecessary. Nobody is keen in reading anything that would take. This proverb, saying, they say, if you want to hide anything, hide it in papers. It's true. But if you are able to minimize the wordings, the sentences, you will get the attention of your readers. Another point is, I think it's model 2, using precise words and phrases. I'm running out of time. I'll stop it at that. And then on how to improve your legal analysis, I'll just list the points. I won't go further. How to improve your legal analysis. I've said earlier, learn one new thing each day. Don't allow a day to go. You're coming out from law school. Don't allow a day to go without learning one key thing. Just have it at the back of your mind. Play brain games. What is this thing all about? This is how to be on your feet as a lawyer or wherever you are representing your client. The ability for you to think very fast and provide solution is what will sell you out. If, for example, now you find yourself in that situation, I found myself years back, and you have not heard you have not heard at all that there is need for service. You just conclude, okay, no problem. But little thing will be the thing that will save you or mar you. The next point, volunteering. How do you do it? Just to help build yourself, you can volunteer and join certain things, certain clubs, volunteer in some projects. Instead of using the months after the bar final to sleep in the house, volunteer, join a project. You can even volunteer yourself and join a law firm. Once you tell the principal there, I'm coming without pay, he will tell you come. You just join them and go to court. With those outings, you won't know, but you're sharpening your brain to make you fit when the need arises. Then training courses. You can join. These days, you don't need to travel to Lagos, to Enugu to learn to do a particular course. You can join online, and that's the beauty of it. When you join online, at the end of the training, you get your certificate without you having to travel there to do that course. I don't know how many minutes do I have. I would have run through the steps in persuasive writing skills. But the key thing I will draw before I go is that just like the name, the word persuasive in writing, when you want to capture the mind of your audience, some will use emotional blackmail. I use that word blackmail because I know that some write-ups there are not really what is happening, but people use it. There is a story that I will start telling now. all your ears will be to my side. But because the topic we are discussing is a boring topic, you might not be interested. But this boring topic is what will take you to the next step. Because as a lawyer, you can't run away from writing. You can't. You will draft contracts, you will draft all manner of drafting agreements. And if you don't get this basic, it will be a difficult task for you. But if you calm yourself down and understand that these boring topics are the things that will make you tomorrow, for you to pull in the millions, a contract might do that magic for you. But how neat is your work? It matters a lot. How tidy, how straight to the point, and how well were you able to convey your message? It matters a lot. I wish you all the best, and I pray that God will crown your efforts with success.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Hello.
Good afternoon, ma.
Absolutely.
Sorry, when the speaker mentioned, like called you that time, he mentioned that you are married with kids.
Yes.
So, sorry, please, I want to know, how did you manage to be a successful lawyer and like a CEO at that, and so be a like how were you able to perform your role as a mother, probably a daughter, and then a wife?
My dear, that particular question is a difficult one, but I will make an attempt. It comes with the sacrifice. You will have to forgo a whole lot of things. Like I was discussing with my friend out there when he made mention of blogging. I said, how much of your time are you willing to mortgage? How much of your time are you willing to throw away? Because the truth is that if you want to succeed, maybe tomorrow you want to be a blogger. I'm not discouraging you, but you have to bear in your mind that those periods others are sleeping, you will be awake. You have to attend to the needs of your husband, and when they go to bed, you'll be awake. If you're not willing to make these sacrifices, because during the day, you can't say, because I'm doing this, I'll not take care of my kids. No. I was discussing with Caleb, I wouldn't have been here, but for the fact that I've made my promise, I said I must come. I had to shift certain things to make this happen. But that is why I'm saying that it's all about sacrifice. And another thing, you pray to God that your spouse is the one that understands. Yeah, I use the word prayer because nothing happens unless the Almighty wills it. There is a limit to what you can achieve. And there's equally a limit to what you can achieve with an understanding partner. That's key. Because those periods that you will be out awake doing those things, some will take offense. So it's left for you, depending on the nature of your work. If the day is not enough for you, you have to know how to manage the time to satisfy the kids and satisfy the husband at your own expense. But it's something that will go down when you stabilize and employ people. The moment you bring in hands, the load of the work, you will notice it. But that is the life of a blogger. Because you must chase the news as it's coming. Otherwise, you'll be left behind.